Eddard Ned Stark was a man who lived by a code of honor that would, ultimately, result in his death. He imparted this moral code onto his children, and in at least one notable instance, this code led to his son Robb Stark's death as well. Ned also bears the dubious honor of being the audience's first indication that Game of Thrones didn't play to traditional narrative expectations. The man who'd clearly been set up to appear as the hero of the story was summarily executed at the conclusion of the first season. Viewers were now acutely aware that all bets were off, no character was safe, and that anything could happen. Eddard Stark was the Warden in the North and the Lord of Winterfell, as well as a caring and nurturing father to his 5 children, and the child he took in for his dying sister and raised as his bastard. He had, by all appearances, a loving marriage to his wife Catelyn, and maintained a strong friendship with the King Robert Baratheon. It was this friendship, however, as well as his undying sense of duty, that ultimately led to his public shaming and execution. When Robert Baratheon visited Winterfell following the death of his hand, Jon Arryn, Ned accepted the king's offer to be his new hand, against his better judgment and despite the fact that it would take him from his place in the North and most of his family. After it became clear that Jon Arryn had in fact been murdered, Ned couldn't stop himself from investigating and digging deeper into the viper's pit of treachery until he too had uncovered the secret that led to Jon Arryn's death. That the Queen of the Seven Kingdoms, Cersei Lannister, had been incestuously involved with their brother Jaime, and that the children that Robert Baratheon believed to be his own were actually products of this ongoing tryst. In what would prove to be his fatal mistake, instead of taking this news directly to his friend the king, Ned felt it more appropriate and perhaps merciful to confront Cersei herself and offer her a chance to flee into exile to keep her secret safe. Unfortunately, not long after this confrontation, Robert Baratheon died as a result of injuries sustained while hunting wild boar. Prior to dying, however, he did write in his will that Ned was to be the protector of the realm until his son Joffrey was of an appropriate age to rule. Cersei, however, no longer bound by her marriage to the king, tore up the letter, installed Joffrey as the king, and had Ned branded a traitor to the realm, imprisoned, and ultimately executed. Ned Stark was a deeply honorable, moral, and just man. He was also unable to see beyond his moral code. For him, it seemed, the world was black and white. There was good and there was evil. The good would be rewarded and the evil punished. In the unforgiving world of Westeros, however, things rarely work out that way, and Ned Stark learned this lesson far too late for it to do him any good. For more information on Eddard Stark, check out Game of Thrones Wiki on Fandom.